Good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Nerds of the Round Table on Blacklist Universe. I am your host. You guys all know me, but I'm going to go around this round table and introduce everybody. This is kind of a new thing. I want to get nerds from all different walks of life. Since we have apparently taken over the culture, it is time to now embrace our nerdiness. I am Mike S. Biller, 27-year industry veteran from the comic book industry, now doing my own stuff on Indiegogo, LoneStarComic.com if you want to check that out. We have to my right, quarter black Garrett, producer of that Steven Crowder show? Is that what it's
I
called?
don't know. Chowder. It's Steven Chowder.
Chowder.
Yeah.
Chowder.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, Garrett. Below him, we have creator of some cartoonish video game thing with a worm. What's that called, Doug?
It's called Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim, that's right. The great and lanky Doug TenNapel. And that's how he speaks in Giant Land. And below me is the great Steve Caballero, the greatest skateboarder of all time, and a friend of mine since I was about 14 years old. What is up, Cab?
Hello. Trying this new thing, StreamYard, and you guys look really tiny.
He's on his phone.
I'm on my phone.
Do you know how the internet works, Steve?
I do, but I don't use a computer very often.
Yeah.
So I use a phone.
Right on. Topic of the day. Hold on a second. Dadgummit. So nothing ever really goes as planned on this show. So I tried not to plan too far ahead. I just had sort of a general topic, and that was the nerdification of our culture. When we were all young, we're all roughly the same age, I think, except for Garrett. He's a young buck.
But don't hold it against me.
But when we were young, there was this movie called Revenge of the Nerds, and it was because we lived in a culture where jocks ruled the world.
Yep.
And now
true.
Everything in the culture is like nerd-based, from technology to media to everything. I mean, our culture has sort of taken over the world, and I kind of wanted to see how you guys thought that effect was changing the way people view the stuff we have loved since we were kids. Steve, I know. Look at your stuff. You've got all your toys behind you, Evil Knievel stuff. I went into Steve's little room in the back of his house one time, and he just had, it looked like a toy store. Steve collects every toy from every comic known to man. So he's really been kind of a long-term
nerd.
You can say it. You can say
it.
Hey, so which house are you talking about? Are you talking about? Oh, Campbell House.
The little back room behind your little mini ramp.
Yeah, that was actually that was a band room that I decorated with toys.
Oh, yeah, but it's just like it was all brand new in package on the little. You had them on the hooks, huh? Like
pretty much
like in the stores. Yeah.
That was a terrible time in my life when I had a bunch of money that I wanted to waste on. And I just went toy shopping all the time because I was bored. and now they're not worth anything.
not a good investment.
Not really. Toy Biz got a hold of that collecting craze and just pretty much ruined it, and just put out all this stuff, and and now it's in a box inside my garage.
It's funny. That's
Sitting
kind
there.
of just an example of what they have done with a culture. When we were kids, only nerds read comics. Only nerds liked this stuff, and we liked it because we loved it. And then somehow or another, the money came in, the popularity came in, the speculation came in, and just kind of poisoned it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they saw something good and we're like, hey, I want to make money off of that. So then they like 1 million people came in, and then genuinely normies saw it and were like, oh hey, these are good stories, but they didn't live it like nerds do. They see it as like a fashion thing. It's like, oh, I'm wearing a Batman shirt because it's cool. It's like, were you there? At Batman the Animated Series, Batman '89. Did you watch those movies? Do you know? All this. It's like, no, they don't know any of that.
Yeah.
They go, I just like the logo. It looks cool.
Did you wear a Batman shirt when wearing a Batman shirt could get you beat up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't cool then. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Star Wars. I can't hear Steve Caballero, by the way.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't. His audio isn't going through to me, so I don't know if that's a you or that's a me.
But
I can hear everybody out. I can hear
for
everybody
me,
else.
it's the big mainstream breakthroughs were like Star Trek was a nerd thing, and it was still considered weird, and then Star Wars really broke it wide open to mainstreaming nerd culture. If you think about what Star Wars is, like what was supposed to be an oddball weird fantasy turned into a huge mainstream, the biggest blockbuster of all. And I think that's what created the modern nerd culture. Because remember, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out and it was this dark, weird side comic. Now it would come out like as a mainstream launch. I mean, everything from Image Comics.
Oh yeah.
Sci-Fi Channel's been mainstreamed. Now it's big business. Stranger Things comes out. It's a major series.
Yeah.
So I think culture, when you say like the nerdification of culture, I think it's because we are growing up way more brainy, way more soft, way less physical, way more connected to devices and culture where it's just streaming into our heads now 24/7.
Yeah.
That's what changed. It turned professional video game guys on par with professional football players.
Yeah, and they're making more money. Although Steve is the exception to the rule. Physicality has been his life's blood. I remember when I was 14 sitting there drawing at my table and Steve's watching me and I was like, I'll be drawing, my whole life. And Steve's like, I'm going to be skating when I'm 50. And how old are you now, Steve?
I'm going to be 55 in November.
Dang, dude. Still skating.
That's awesome.
Now he's like, I'm going to be skating till I'm 80.
Till I shatter my hip.
I'm still nerding too. I went to Comic Con, and then I went to the Anime Con with my daughter.
Anime Expo.
Anime Expo in Anaheim, and that was really fun to do that with her. So it's actually cool to share this stuff with my daughter, and the fact that there's actually conventions and events for her to go to and enjoy. It's pretty neat to pass down that I've been influenced by to my kids.
All right. Can you still not hear him, Doug? Doug, why don't you try dropping out and back in? Because sometimes that works on Google Hangouts.
Sure.
All right.
I'll give it a try here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, so I do that same thing with my daughter. I have a 6-year-old. Well, I have a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So I've been introducing them to the things that I love, which were introduced to me by my dad. My dad loved Star Wars. He watched Star Trek: The Next Generation my entire childhood. He had toys. He got the toys and stuff, and we're always on top of our entertainment center above the TV, so they're always there. And I'm just kind of doing that with my kid, and it's like you said, it's one of the really fun things about liking this stuff is that you can kind of pass it down and be like, hey, these are the things I like. Do you like these kind of things? And watching them enjoy it.
Maybe it's our fault because we've kind of seeded the next generation with our nerddom, and they're the smart kids, right?
Yeah.
They're the smart kids. They're the ones that get into computer engineering. They're the ones that are, running San Jose and Silicon Valley and funding movies, and they're the ones that grow up and and you know are running Warner Brothers or whatever, and are like, oh man, I always wanted to see a Green Lantern movie or whatever it is, you know, and now they're like, oh hey, I can
do it,
and it's gonna fuck.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
Tess, Steve, say something. Steve, say something.
Hello. Something.
Doug, can you hear me?
It's a little jittery. Like you guys are kind of jittering out a little bit when you're.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to come back and do this more regularly, then get on the computer, man. It's a little easier. Doug's on his phone because the power went out in his house.
Yeah.
So when you say browser, which browser works better for this?
I use Chrome.
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah. So it's free. You can just download it. If you have a Mac, you can just download it. Safari doesn't like it. So
okay. Yeah.
Doug is
I have an old computer, so
boomer tech.
Yeah. Use your daughter's computer. How are your kids doing?
Hello?
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
Uh-oh.
Test one. Test baby one.
We lost him.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Oh, Doug's back.
Doug's back. I kind of like that Doug is like these swirls of light.
Yeah.
It's
ethereal. It's like a
all right.
It's like a spirit.
Steve, can you hear me? Steve cannot hear me. Doug, can you hear me?
It's a little bit.
I can't hear Doug.
Now I can't hear Doug. What is happening?
It's real jittery. You guys kind of go in and out.
Is your phone on your Wi-Fi?
Is my phone what?
Is it connected to your Wi-Fi?
It's connected to Wi-Fi. You might take it off Wi-Fi.
No. I was just wondering. It should work. Now Doug's having problems.
Oh no.
Oh no. And there goes Steve.
Hey, it's just the first episode.
It's just the first episode. What could go wrong?
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah, you can just leave the video off if it's clearer for you audibly.
No.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Sorry for the production value, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the chat and see.
When in doubt.
David Barron says, "Is that Steve Caballero, the skate legend?" Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. Steve doesn't use computers very often. He's on his skateboard, or he's on his motorcycle, or he's doing some other death-defying feat, which doesn't include sitting in front of a monitor getting fat.
I feel like that was a personal attack.
No.
I just get fat eating.
Just feels so bad.
Eating food.
Well, dude, you're in San Diego now, man. Best Mexican food in the world.
Ugh.
I'm gonna try the computer.
All right.
This time.
All right. Do it.
Downstairs. And I'm gonna try this.
No, but seriously, Steve, you've been eating a lot of Mexican food? No, you can't hear me.
Dang.
How about you, Doug? Are you back? Nope. Doug's audio is out. That's strange. Doug, pull the plug on your headphones. Maybe it's your headphones.
He doesn't have a plug. They're AirPods.
Oh.
How does that work? How do you pull a plug on the AirPods?
Hold on.
Jeremiah Jones for $9.99 says 10 out of 10 shows so
See
far.
here. Chrome. Ooh, Google Chrome. Is that it? Google Chrome.
That's the one, baby.
Yep.
Mars Sense says, let's ignore these
Do I
boomers and
want
make
that?
our
Google
own.
Chrome.
Yeah. Awful Redneck says, to culturally appropriate is to appreciate. I remember that episode of Crowder. Were you producing back then?
We've done more. We did some
you've
this
done
year.
more? Oh,
Yeah.
right on.
We should do nerd culture.
Yeah.
Just cut to everybody in different costumes, and I'm just the same. Like, oh yeah, this is my culture.
Store? No. Is it StreamYard.com?
No. Just
Yeah, click on the link.
Oh, can you go to? Oh shoot, I don't know how to send you.
StreamYard.
Are you on Twitter or anything?
StreamYard.com. I'm
I
connected.
can send you the link.
Okay, here we go. I got it. We're here. It says
Okay, you're gonna
get
need
started.
your
Email address.
All right. Go to your email and just copy that link. It's just the last numbers at the end. You got to add it to the end of StreamYard after the /.
I don't know if I can get on my email from her computer.
Okay, can you see the private chat?
Browser, share screen. Much private chat. Let's see.
Can you see the private chat on your phone? Sorry, guys. Steve has never used a computer before.
You want me to go where it says get started or log in?
You don't have to do either. You just go to
get started.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, don't say that.
All right, Steve, hang up. Look at the link on your phone. Actually, no, look at the text on your phone that I sent you. And just copy those last.
Your block sheet. I can't hear you, dude. Sorry.
All right, I'm going to text you, okay,
Hold
Steve?
on. And 6-digit code. Hold on.
All right. The time is now, says Zach Bradley. What's Kyung laughing at? Kyung Lee. I am drawing and rarely leave my dungeon. My phone gets 40 rods to the hog. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat. Yes, this is not the most tech savvy group. Doug apparently can't even get audio working. So
I've got no camera.
Hi, Garrett. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I can see and hear you. It's pretty good.
From this text.
We need hold music.
Oh, I can just play some of these things.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
Oh, yeah.
This is so bad.
I got to tell you, whenever I was a kid, my brother and I reenacted that entire fight.
Oh, no.
Without watching the movie. We just knew it verbatim and just reenacted the whole thing. It was great.
So because that was your generation, did you like have an affinity for those god-awful movies?
I like the first one and the third one. I hate the second one, but not even close to the original. I mean, obviously.
Zevia says, if only there was a producer in the room.
Hey, I'm on my off time right now.
Oh, it's just us.
All right. It's the Mike and Garrett show.
It's the Mike and Garrett show. All right. Steve's back. Doug,
I'm back.
I'm back. I got internet now.
Yeah, we did it.
Wait, but I'm kind of backlit. Hold on.
I'm so proud of this community.
oh my gosh. There is a
My
God.
dog's back too.
Nice.
Say hi to Oliver.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh,
That's an awesome guy. Is that a French bulldog? What is that?
He is. He's a Frenchie.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like Johnny's dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the kind of dog I want. I want a
All right. Well, let's start all over.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Just hit the intro. Start from the beginning.
Just trim all that out before this, Mike.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll do a 30-second re-intro. To my right is Quarter Black Garrett, producer of Steven Browder.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, chat and everybody watching.
Below him is a dog and his owner.
Oh, he got his ear.
The great and legendary Steve
I'm getting
Caballero
attacked right now by this guy. Oh.
of Bones Brigade and everything after that. Say hi, Steve.
It grunted when he put him up.
And below me is the tall one, Doug TenNapel, creator of Earthworm Jim, Cat Scratch, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. What's up? It's a good day. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has been a beautiful disaster, and we are talking about the nerdification of the culture and how we've seen from the days of our youth how nerds were kind of the joke and the guys that got duct taped and trash canned and laughed at and spit on and sand kicked in their face and all that stuff, to now a time when essentially nerd culture rules the world.
And it sucks.
And it sucks.
Everybody happy? Everybody
Yeah.
happy now?
We got everything we wanted and it's not good.
The money people have come in and just kind of spoiled it for us. They're, instead of doing like, oh my gosh, why are you making so much noise?
Now it's Mike's turn.
He's getting the switches out.
Hey, so why do you say it ruined it for you? Is it because the money is getting split up? Is that what you're saying? Or I don't understand, because I think what happens with a culture is you're trying to reach people, and then all of a sudden you reach too many people, and then like now it's not cool. So what is it? You want to reach people, or you don't want to reach people? You know what I mean?
I don't like people, so I don't like that there's too many people that like the things that I like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be I don't
I-
want to be ridiculously purist about it, because I understand adaptation for the sake of adaptation, but when you're taking things and it's like you're just milking it for its name or its brand recognition rather than trying to stay true to the heart of the stuff that all of us growing up just loved about X-Men or
Star
whatever
Trek.
it is, Batman, whatever it is, because you've got so many cooks in the kitchen, especially at like Warner Brothers, right, where they've got all these people with all their ideas trying to dictate, and they just create what are to me just unwatchable movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they've come into like fandoms, different fandoms, comics, games, movies. They've come into these fandoms and have made lowest common denominator content. So back whenever, like in the 90s, the 80s, I guess, was the end of the 80s. Next Generation was trying to make a show for Star Trek fans. But now they're trying to make TV shows and movies for every person. And you're just not going to get the best quality storytelling if you're trying to please the masses. It's just, you just can't please everybody.
All right.
So yeah, that's my main problem with having so many people in the fandoms.
Okay, here's my beef with nerd culture, because I go much broader with nerd culture, because I would include feminist culture, where the idea of some kind of a super dominant physical male species used to run everything, right? That was the 70s muscle car and football players and the burnouts that would beat all the chess club up. Now in the age of the internet, they're the ones running all of your IT. You can't get your internet running. They have with higher intelligence of nerd culture, like they're more bookish, they're more crafty with language, and you have this dumb jock, over there chopping wood in the backyard, and now they have taken over culture. And so because they're softer, let's say, the bad guy is always is that the Biff from Back to the Future. But those guys aren't the real bullies anymore. Mm. Now the bullies is some guy that can make great memes and tear you apart with about hiding behind anonymity on the Twitter. Those are not muscle-bound jocks. Those are skinny, emaciated, and I'm skinny and emaciated, but I'm just saying, I know my people because I'm also a nerd. And now their sensibilities are what is running culture, and they've created a much more verbally abusive world, right? It's not as physically abusive because I don't think many kids are getting their butt kicked. They're just not beating up the chess club anymore. Now they're telling on HR and telling on the principal and getting those people kicked out for having wrong think anyways. So it's, to me, the idea that nerd culture sucks. A fun side of it is like getting to watch Star Wars and have fun talking about, Star Trek and comic books and all that. But that's kind of a lagging indicator to what's really happening, which is that we're kind of becoming this albino, hairless, giant brains walking around controlling everything with no mercy.
That was a Star Trek episode, by the way.
It was the cage. Yeah. It was the cage. Those people are in charge.
Yeah.
I play chess, by the way.
Hey, so do I.
Oh my God.
I was 8th in my district.
I got to explain
something. Than you, Mike.
I got to explain something about Steve. The reason Steve is the best skater ever is it's his personality. Any freaking thing he decides he wants to do, he puts 150% of his effort into learning everything about it. So when I started playing chess with him, he was just wiping the board with me game after game. And I'm like, this isn't fun anymore.
I think we might have to have a mini chess tournament since we're all 4 chess players.
I'm out of practice.
Not fun if you're winning all the time either. So you have to play people that are going to challenge you.
Yeah.
It's really a game that helps you think. I love chess because it's like life. You have to really strategize your moves. You have to think ahead. You have to know when to back off.
Yeah.
You have to know when to attack.
When to fold them. Mike, what we got to do, Mike? We got to do a random draw. We'll ladder the show. Nerds of the Round Table chess tournament, and the other 2 guys can comment while the other 2 guys are playing. Like you can make fun of them. You can't suggest moves.
I can't play Steve. He'll
mop the floor. Then that'll be an easy ladder.
I beat most people I know, right? But Steve is he's like 2 levels, 3 levels ahead of me. So I can
start practicing right now.
There's always going to be someone that's better than you. You know what I mean? It's
Steve wants to be that guy.
That's what's fun about it, though. Is like you never know. You can go into a game if you're going to play. If you're playing in a tournament, which I did when I was a kid, you never know who you're going up against. They could be, even if they're in the same bracket as you, they can still be way better than you, or way worse. It's part of the game. It's fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think Steve's ever played Age of Empires. He doesn't do computer games.
No. The last video games I played were the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games.
Oh yeah,
those are great games.
That was in the 90s. Yep, late 90s.
Yeah, I remember Steve had the 720 game in his little garage room.
I still have it. It's upstairs.
Oh no, really?
Yep.
Sick.
I remember loving making characters wipe out and just eat sidewalk was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I had the board refurbished. A couple of the buttons were messed up, and the joystick was a little it was grinding, but then I had it refurbished, and now it's perfect.
Nice.
That's
classic,
awesome,
dude. What? How old is that thing?
I got it in 1986.
No kidding. I don't know if Tony Hawk was that old.
Actually, no. This is
720.
Oh, the arcade game.
Yeah, the arcade.
Yeah.
This is before the video game came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. See, then you wouldn't win, Mike. Yeah. Well, here's what would happen. I would introduce Steve to Age of Empires, and we'd play like one Sunday together, and then Steve would spend 24 hours a day for the next week learning about Age of Empires, and then the next Sunday he would kick my butt.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do with everything?
No.
No, but back to, your comments about the way, comics and everything is, I've always been a fan of just letting people explore and letting people go with, introducing these things to anybody. I've never had a selfish attitude where this is mine and I'm going to keep it and I'm going to control it, because then it becomes a selfish thing. It happened with punk rock. As soon as punk rock went mainstream, people are like the punkers are like, oh, it's not cool anymore because everyone's listening to this band that I discovered, and now everyone's wearing their T-shirt. It's not cool.
Yeah. I had the ironic T-shirt when no one knew about it.
Right. To be honest, those guys are the posers. Huh. Those guys are the guys that are like, they're just into it because they don't want anyone else to be into it. Yeah. It's really a selfish attitude. So I'm just referring this to the whole comic thing and where it's come from. Because, I was born in 1964. I grew up with 70s comics. I grew up watching, creature features. Oh, yeah. Saturday morning, television shows, watching Batman, all that stuff. 70s was great for all that stuff. Being so active that I am, I spent a lot of time in front of the TV. I mean, we're talking like before school, after school, Saturdays. I mean, you name it. Brady Bunch, The Munsters, Gomer Pyle, Starsky and Hutch, Laverne and Shirley. I mean, all those shows. I loved that stuff in the 70s.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we were raised on TV. I got my own little black and white TV in my bedroom when I was in 4th grade. And that thing, every day I came home from school, I turned that on. Tom and Jerry, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Wall to wall.
Exactly. Speed Racer. I mean,
Speed Racer. Yeah.
Monkeys.
I mean, because of the expansion of, Nerdsville, whatever. I mean, I grew up watching Ultraman and Godzilla.
Yep.
And the fact that Kirk Hammett from Metallica had his festival in San Francisco, Fear Fest or something like that. And he had a talk show where people would come up on stage and talk. And I met the original guys that played in the costumes in the 60s, Godzilla and Ultraman.
Wow.
I was fanning out, like things that I looked up to when I was 10. I'm actually meeting these guys in person and getting their autograph. And because of what's happening with all that, I got a chance to do that.
Were you in the Bay Area at that time?
Yes.
So that's so you mentioned Creature Features with Bob Wilkins on Saturday nights. That's what I would watch, or Friday nights. I can't remember what it was, but he had the big stogie.
Yep.
Just a great campy show. And I remember his show, Captain Cosmic.
I had the card.
I won the art contest.
Really?
Let me go to Marine World, Africa, USA, Marine World or whatever it was. But they would play Ultraman reruns. They played Star Blazers. They did, and all these things were real early influences on my work. I just remember hanging on every day after school. We'd watch that. KTVU. So Channel 44, Channel 2.
Yep.
Played all the good monster movies on Saturday afternoon. Ray Harryhausen and all that stuff.
I still have my Captain Cosmic card.
Oh yeah, I have that somewhere. The silver. It's got the silver card with your secret number on the back. I had that.
Doug, I didn't even know you lived in the Bay Area. Where were you?
I lived in Denair/Turlock, so it was about 2 hours inland to the San Joaquin Valley. But we got those signals, so that was my connection to the big culture of the Bay Area.
Yeah, we were in San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I loved it.
KTVU. I still listen to KSFO, even in San Diego. I just put it on the internet.
Yeah, so it's weird because that really was something you had to seek and find, right? That wasn't on a mainstream network. That was a side show. And now that's the kind of stuff, even mainstreaming like Lost is really more nerd culture. And so you'd go, well, surely there's a huge audience. So it must be that we're all becoming a lot nerdier. It's not that it's not a sideshow anymore. It's the main event.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've moved the culture, the nerd needle.
So Steve, is there a chance that there's too much nerdiness because whatever it replaced was meatier?
Oh no.
Dude.
Oh my God.
That's horrifying. Run. You've got to run, man.
Apparently Santa Bear.
Santa Bear.
And now, was that sewed on his chin, or they don't come like that, right?
No, that's a Santa beard. He's just
That's
wrapped
an
around
addition.
himself.
Is that
It's modded. It's a modded Santa Bear.
okay?
It's a kit bash. That's what they call it.
You're
Is
not
that-
even dancing. You're not very good.
Get to the
dancing.
dancing, kid.
Yeah, dude. Come on, do some
Break dancing. Let me see some
what's
top
that?
rocking.
do some Fortnite dancing.
Oh yeah.
Are you just so hot in there? You're like,
It
You have
doesn't
no
translate.
He's just gonna pass out now.
There you go.
this is a variety show now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that back. I like that. Do that all day. All day.
Look how big they're getting, Steve. You got to come down here, man.
I
I've
know.
seen these guys since they were like this big.
I'm close.
I know, right?
He's doing the floss.
There he
No.
goes.
What's that? The floss?
That's
Yeah.
the floss, yeah.
That's great.
That infected my kid too. It's everywhere.
Look at him. He's tired. He's passing out. Oh, look, he's back to a stuffed bear. All the life went out of him. He went back to
Yeah,
being a
it's
stuffed
really warm in there because it's filled with cotton. So it's just he gets out of there and he's all stinky and sweaty and dying apparently. Can you not lay on all that stuff? There's comics in there.
bear. Yeah, those are my original pages of Lone Star. Do you mind?
All right. Okay. Bye, bear. Bye, bear.
He's like gonna pass out. He's stumbling down. Slam. Now he's got to come back out in a different outfit.
That's the next segment.
You know, it's funny you're talking about Godzilla because I think I mentioned this to Doug because Doug's a huge Godzilla fan.
Huge.
And I was saying how, you know what, when we were kids, we freaking nerded out about this guy in a rubber suit walking around knocking down these balsa wood buildings, right? Just nerded out about it. I loved Godzilla. And then we see like this just epic things we couldn't even have imagined as children. Blockbuster films with the CG that's so good.
Yeah.
It looks like
The new Godzilla, and everyone's
And-
yawning.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel real. That's the problem. Back
Well,
then, you had
special.
a
in the rubber
No.
suit.
look. Here's the thing. Whenever you're watching something and you see a guy in a rubber suit, you can, detach your brain and be like, okay, this is in the story. The things that I'm looking at are real. Those are real costume. Those are real little sets. The problem that I have is like whenever you do CGI and you have a floating camera that floats wherever it wants to go, and you've got giant creatures and all this stuff. After a minute of that, you just turn off and you go, it's all on a computer. It doesn't matter. That's why I always love miniatures. Whenever they shoot miniatures in movies,
Yeah,
those always feel so much realer than CGI.
Look at this.
There we go.
Here's the beast. Look at this guy. Yeah.
Nice.
and there's a weird thing about CGI wherein it looks so real to us now, but remember how real Jurassic Park looked to us?
It
Yeah.
still looks good.
It still looks good. It really is.
Good.
It really holds up in a way that a lot of
But
effects movies from
yeah, but
1991
not
did not.
compared to like the new stuff because you your mind is tricked as the technology passes along. I remember stopping when I was playing Call of Duty 3, and I would like stop and just as a character and stare at like the Jeeps and texture and stuff, and I'm like, this looks so real. But now I go back, I look at Call of Duty 3 and it looks like Mario Brothers.
Yeah, if you ever go back to Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider looks terrible now. You go back to that generation.
But you go back to the original Star Wars, and all of those practical effects, they still hold up.
Yeah,
because they're real.
Yeah.
Have you seen Uncharted 4?
Oh my goodness!
Like, dude, they're walking through weeds and flowers and
It's a
endless.
really good game.
It's beautiful.
Thanks a lot.
Hey,
My son, he ran in a track meet. How'd you do?
Where's his bear suit?
You beat your time?
Yes.
Okay, you get a prize.
No bear suit.
A couple of other boys behind me.
He said there's a couple other boys behind me. That's all I ask. If there's boys behind you and girls behind you. All the girls behind you.
Doug, one of these days you have to get an Earthworm Jim spacesuit built that you can wear and then just wear like a sock on top of your head.
Yeah.
That would be dignifying.
Cosplay.
I'll get right on that.
I think the CGI is a comic book's dream. I mean, when that came out, it was limitless to what you could do with comic books and making movies. And I think because they created that, we get to see our childhood, comics come to life, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean the way it is now, I'm just saying that it's, I don't know, the practical effects are something that is ultimately ageless because that kind of effect they got as good as they could get because it's a real thing you're taking a picture of.
Yeah.
Whereas CG, it tricks your mind, and I mean I love it, but I don't know, in 10 years, well, okay, not 10 years, in 20 years, are we going to look back at Guardians of the Galaxy and be like, oh wow, that CG sucked?
Yeah.
Is it going to date it because the technology continues to get better?
Yeah, but that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why we still love those old Godzilla movies, and
okay.
It's part of what we grew up in. I wouldn't pay too much attention to what's going to happen in the future. Just accept what's going on now and enjoy it.
Stop being so positive.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to be negative over here.
Look at that! Look at that computer-generated dog he's holding.
It's not a real dog, way. It's a robot.
It's digital. Yeah.
It really is.
Hey guys, I have to go to the bathroom and then I have to get to work.
All right, Doug.
I'm gonna jump out. See you guys. God bless you guys. Have a great night.
Hey,
thanks for having me on, Mike.
Yep.
Man, but look at the dog. He's got batteries in him. Look.
It's so lifelike.
Wow, Teddy Ruxpin has really come apart.
10 years from now, I'm not going to want this dude anymore.
Throw that dog away.
Kidding. I love this guy. Oh, my baby.
The Beast says in 20 years, actors won't be needed. Hey, did you see that clip from, that guy that like interposes people's faces onto other people talking? Like,
Control Alt Face or something like that.
I can't remember, but he did it with the Princess Leia scene at the end of Rogue One, and it was better than
drastically improves it. Yeah. I mean, they should just do that from now on. Use that program.
Seriously. Did you see it? You know what I'm talking about, Steve?
No. Is it something that was like a YouTube thing or what was it?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. You guys go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Chuck Dixon said once that comics went downhill whenever fans got in charge. I kind of agree with that. That was a unraked chevron there. So
wait, what?
So he's basically saying that comics went downhill whenever fans took over. That's kind of what's happening. Is that so? You've got great creators, then you've got people that watched great creators and go, hey, I can do that. And then they try to do that, and it's not quite as good. But it's because they're trying to copy the creators that they liked. So, like, I don't like J.J. Abrams because all he does is copy other styles and don't really have a style of his own except for lens flares. because that's pretty much it. But that's kind of how I feel about most of the things that I like, is that they've been taken over by people that think it's cool and go, I can do it, but then they can't quite do it, and they don't really understand how the original people did it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying, but I think the problem is we don't have fans running. I want fans who love. And again, maybe I'm too much of a purist, but I want fans who love what the purity of whatever it is to be the ones who pick up the mantle. And yeah, I do want them to be highly skilled and be good writers and understand process and storytelling and all that stuff. But I don't want somebody who just is looking at it as a paycheck. You know, here, let me show you what I'm talking about, Steve. Can you see it?
Before you show that,
ultimate creators.
On the live comments, I didn't even know people were commenting.
Oh, you didn't notice?
Well, no, I mean,
Oh, is Lance Mountain still around?
Right. I mean, people are asking questions. Are we supposed to be answering their questions?
We can be. I'm
Here, I'll give you an example. So, George Lucas, he's not a fan of George Lucas. He's a fan of Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, old serials from, the 50s. That's what he was a fan of, and then he made his own thing that took those things that he loved, and he did his own thing.
Okay.
The problem is that people, and like nowadays, there's people that do that, and it's great. So Guardians of the Galaxy, like you just said, that's somebody that took what was great about older things that we love, and then made something new. All
right.
Things that came out before. The thing is that I don't like, and I think I agree with you too. Is I don't like people that come in just for a paycheck that don't know anything about, what they're doing, or like Star Trek. They're not coming in with any kind of knowledge of Star Trek. They're just making random stuff. But what I'm saying is that people that don't understand, don't have the skill making products, making movies, that they don't understand the fundamental reasons why the originals were so good.
I think I understand what you're saying. But let me play this real quick so Steve can see what I'm talking about. I can't do this too long because... Did you see what I mean?
And his is on the bottom, right?
So
I can't tell if
his is on the bottom.
Yeah.
It just looks more natural, like more lifelike. I think it's because it's not. Well, I don't know his process. I think he might have come up with this process, but by interlacing, what he does is he takes photos from all these different angles of these actors, and then he like lays it onto a map, and it just seems more real and lifelike than straight up CGI stuff. So
it's this program where they take
like there's
like 100 photos of Carrie Fisher from different angles, and then the algorithm AI tries and figures out what the right photo would be. They did that with Keanu Reeves and Jim Carrey and all kinds of stuff.
He does it with Nicolas Cage all the time.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to say is they need to hire that dude.
Yeah.
For everything.
He did this for like nothing, and they spent like $20 million doing the CGI model.
Well, maybe he'll get a new job.
Yeah. Victor says, ask Steve if he thinks he can come up with a suspense fun scenarios in a comic since he's a big risk taker. You ever do any writing, Steve?
No. No.
That's a no. That's a no, Victor.
Nope. But I draw.
Yeah, Steve is an artist. I was talking about these, Steve, like little sketch cards. I'm trying to get Steve to do some sketch cards too. So you do like my character just on a sketch card.
Yep.
And that's what I mean.
And what do you do with those?
I sell them on my Indiegogo. So everybody, I have a new tier of Indiegogo of sketch cards available if you want to go check it out on the campaign.
Okay, well, when I come visit you, we'll draw some sketch cards.
All right, cool. Yeah. Matthew Fowler wants to know if Ray Barbie is still alive.
Ray Barbie's still alive. He's playing music all the time. He's an amazing guitar player, and he still skates all the time.
I think the last time I saw that guy, I was like 14.
Now he's still really involved with Vans shoes, and he goes all over the place.
Really?
Playing
Those
things.
are what I wear exclusively.
Yep.
Matt says the ragdoll board had sick graphics. I did one of those. Actually,
that was drawn by Sean Cliver.
I've done a ragdoll graphic too for Black Label.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, was it whose board was it? No, you're talking about Ragdoll the skateboarder. He's talking about Ragdoll the board graphic.
Oh.
Mike, you are a nerd.
Dude, I sucked at skating, you know.
We know. That's why.
That's why I sat inside drawing more.
But you stuck to what you believed in, and you became a really amazing artist. I mean, I saw you when you were 14, and you drew the cover of our first Odd Man Out album, which I still have the original artwork of that.
Do you? Oh my gosh.
And you can't buy it back from me now.
That is my first published piece.
No, it was great. And back then you were amazing. So I can only imagine, shoot. How many years was that? That was 86.
14, so 34 years ago.
Yeah. You've been drawing for 34 plus years. You better be good. That's a lot of hours, man.
It is. It's a bit.
You know what's rad? Your kids are probably artists now too. My daughter is drawing all the time. She loves anime. So it's just great to have this like talent, and then you pass it down to your kids,
Yeah, how old's your daughter now?
She's 9.
Oh, right on.
She's 9. I have 2. The oldest is 22, and my youngest is 9, and she loves art. And I'm actually gonna try to take her to Japan next year.
Oh, really?
I've taken both my other kids to Japan on art-related trips, and this year 2020, I'm going back to Japan, and I'm going to take my daughter.
Yeah, I was there last year. I got invited out to a con there this October, but I'm too busy. So
it's amazing. I love that country.
Yeah, and I met a lot of family. I took Eden out there, and man, we met so much family. We ate whale.
Oh,
it was not good.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, how was that?
I don't suggest whale. There's Eden.
Oh.
You haven't seen her since she was actually small.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Eden brought me a coconut water.
Nice.
Well, if I can have some first.
So cool.
All right.
What other questions do we have here?
All right. Them Japanese jeans, man. What does that mean? Did Doug already leave? Yeah, Doug left. He left about 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Christiana Lynn says the art kids always wore Vans and Converse when I was in middle and high school. Now they'd hurt my feet.
She needs to buy the Ultra Range Vans. Those are like the most comfiest Vans.
Yeah, you got to get the ones with the cush.
Yeah, Ultra Range.
Yeah. Doesn't she need to get the half cabs?
If she's a skater, yeah. They're great skate shoes. But for comfy, I don't even wear half cabs when I'm not skating. I wear the Ultra Range. They're Nike-esque. Very comfy. They got breathable materials, super soft and stretchy. I highly recommend those, Christina. Ultra Range.
DJ Peterson wants to buy a sketch card from you.
Oh, I have to go visit you, and we can make some.
Well, let's make it happen, man.
Right.
Quarter Black Garrett, are you launching a comic?
In the future.
In
Possibly.
the future.
Things are brewing.
Wait, are you an artist?
I am, but I'm not drawing it. I found an artist. He's sick. He's great.
All right, fine.
I ain't got that kind of time. I'm watching you guys drawing all the time. Like, no way.
If any of you guys have questions for Steve, apparently he's interested in hearing them. So,
well, now I can read them because I clicked on live comment. I'm new to this, so I I'm not on the computer.
Right on. Epic Trilogy asks, can you ask Steve if Stacy is talking about a follow-up to Bones Brigade and Autobiography?
Oh, no. We haven't talked about that. But Stacy does work for Pal Peralta still. And he's doing little projects here and there. But I'm not really sure what he's been working on lately, but he's there at the company in Santa Barbara every once in a while.
Christina says, I'm not a skater, LOL, but I might like them if they have good arch support. Wow, I sounded like an old lady.
It's great arch support. Go into your local Van store, ask for the Ultra Range shoes, and you won't be disappointed.
All right, we've got about 5 minutes left. So, yeah. Do a hard question. Haven't thought about PAL in ages. Do you still compete, Steve?
I do. They have these contests called Legends contests every year at the Combi Pool in Orange County. So I compete with all the 80 skateboarders there.
Oh, right on. Does Solomon still skate?
Solomon skates. Solomon lives really close to me, and he's got 2 kids that are learning how to skate as well. And after I'm healing a broken femur right now, so once that heals, I'll get back to skating as well, and hopefully me and Solomon can hook up in the mornings. We started this thing a while ago called the Breakfast Club, where we'd meet at a skate park at 9 a.m. and just skate around and practice flatland tricks and stuff. So hopefully we start that up again as soon as I can skate.
Right on. Yeah, Steve hurt his leg on a on a motorcycle.
Dirt bike.
Dirt bike. That's a motorcycle.
Trying.
Yeah.
It's a particular motorcycle.
A motocross bike, a dirt bike.
He was trying to fly again.
Trying to be Evel Knievel, and he went bad, and
it's not smart.
Broke my femur.
Matthew Fowler, yeah, Solomon Aga. So, being that I grew up in San Jose, it was kind of skate mecca. So that's why, I know Steve. I grew up with Solomon, with Jason Adams, Prosenko. Have you talked to Prosenko, dude?
I haven't. Is he in LA?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have not talked to him in years.
Troy Gustafson wants to know if you ever found Animal Chin.
Still searching.
I thought you became Animal Chin. Some of those pictures, man.
Still searching. Now, beard's gone. Met a girl that don't like beards, so.
Oh, yeah?
Shaving off.
Andrew J says, Steve, how good at skateboarding was Mike and his brother? We've already covered that I sucked. So you can just talk about Tom.
His brother, Tom, was really good.
Yeah, he should have gone pro.
I have a funny story about you guys.
Do it.
Share it with them?
Yeah.
It had to do with your ramp.
All right.
And so, oh my God. I think we had to ask permission to come skate your ramp because I think your mom didn't really like people coming over skating.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, it was really hard, even for me, to come over and skate your ramp. Yeah, I guess. What was the deal with that? What was the deal with your ramp? Like,
my mom's racist. No, I mean, dude, it was skaters. A lot of the skate. Conti would come over and he would smell like he hadn't taken a shower in 4 weeks because he hadn't taken a shower in 4 weeks. And kids would be smoking pot in the back, and it's just it wasn't all the bookworms and the nice kids that just had skateboards. So it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you get enough bad behavior. Your mom's like, tap this down.
Yeah, not having that around.
Yeah, but that was you and Tom's obligation to manage that stuff, not your mom.
It's her house. Hey, my mom was pretty open about letting people in, so it had to get pretty screwy for that to tighten up. And then Tom, my brother cuts. Dude, we had the nicest freaking ramp, dude. That thing was smooth. Yeah. And my brother cuts school one day, breaks his freaking ankle on the ramp, and my dad makes us tear it down. So we tore the whole thing down, took it apart piece by piece, and carried it up a mountain and rebuilt it up in this place called the Mazones. It was like literally we just found this relatively flat patch in the middle of a bunch of rocks, and we rebuilt the ramp there, and then anybody could go skate there anytime they want and break whatever they want. Good old days. Good old days. Anyways, we're up at about an hour. Steve, how can people find you on the interwebs?
I have a website. It's www.stevecaballero.com. I also have a web store that sells a bunch of products there that I endorse. Also on Instagram, I post daily. Pretty much my life. It's open book. It's business. It's personal. Everything that I'm about is on there. So.
All right, on. Are you going to come on cross-examination soon?
What's that?
My Bible show. Come on.
Oh yeah, of course.
Now that you know how to do this.
Yes.
Right.
Now that I'm,
savvy.
I'm on a computer now.
Yeah. Right on. Garrett, how do people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter. I have Twitter. I have a Instagram, and I have a YouTube. And you can just watch the Louder with Crowder show. I mean,
what's that?
There. I don't know really. It's just something somebody asked me to do. So.
All right.
It's on Thursdays.
Yeah, you are on Blacklist Universes, my channel. Please hit that like and subscribe. I hope to have these guys on regularly. I don't know if you guys want to do this every single week, but I'd like to and have sort of a cycle through of different fans and or different peeps and whatnot. But until next time, thank you all for being here.
If I'm available, I'll pop in.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
So Mondays, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. God bless.
Bye.
Peace.
Look, my liege. Camelot. 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 It's only a model. Shh.